Good morning and welcome to Irreverent Knits. I am Tracy, owner of Low Country Shrimp and Knits, and with me is Judi from Maggie Loves Yarn.
Barefoot Judi.
Barefoot Judi. Okay, so I'm driving in. I knew today was already off the hook because I'm driving in. I'm just getting into the shop and the phone's ringing, so I answer it. Judy's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm just getting into work. What's up?" She goes, "I forgot to wear shoes."
I am so used because I've got this boot on.
She broke her foot 2 weeks ago, or
Yeah.
is it 2 or 3 weeks now?
Mother's Day, so it's only been 2.5.
It's only 2. It feels like a million years.
It'll be 3 weeks.
Yeah, so she's walking around. She's got the one walking boot and no shoe.
Yeah, I walk out into the garage, because it's just the garage, and I get in the car, and I'm halfway here, and all of a sudden I'm like, I'm barefoot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did I? Because sometimes I do take off my shoe and drive barefoot, and I'm like, I don't have a shoe here. And I went, I don't remember putting a shoe on.
Yep, she walks in here just one old naked foot. So I'm gonna throw a sock at her. So
I'm shod now. I'm shod.
Woo,
My husband came. I called Gordon and I go, you and Maggie want to bring me something? He goes, sure. What do you need? And I went, a shoe. And he's dying laughing.
Yep.
And he goes, any particular kind? I said, a right one would be nice.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be
I have to go to the store afterwards. I should have gone. I'd like to see something in a blue pump.
Right.
Please.
Something sort of cornflower looking, and yeah, a little bit of lace.
I can't believe I did that. It was
So good.
funny.
So good. I was laughing so hard. I had to put the phone. I walked in. I had my arms full. Always have my arms full. I'm like, oh my God, I can't lock the door. I'm laughing too hard. So that's how we started our week. So, or ended our week, I should say. So actually, this has been a terrific week. So not only is today the last day of school here in Beaufort County. So I literally was like, no more making lunches. Boop. No more feeding the dogs. Boop. Those are all your jobs now. Woohoo!
Now you turn into a referee.
That's right.
You go in that corner. You go in that corner. Just don't even talk to each other
Yep.
the rest of the day.
Well, that's either they're fighting or they hide in their rooms away from each other. So I have to get them off the divan. Come outside, baby. Come here. Here's a treat. Come out of your room. So Lena starts work next week, but I'm very proud. I have to brag a little bit of both of my girls. So we were invited to award ceremonies for each of them because at this time in the year, it's not when they do like attendance awards or any type of like honor roll. They've already gotten those done. So if you get an award invitation now, it's something above and beyond. So I got one for each girl. And so yesterday was sitting and listening to names day. And so Lena won the award for her high school. She had the highest grade in all of the high school for geometry, 106%. And you know she does not get that from me. So God bless her. And Emmeline, I was so proud of her because she had a tough year. This was a rough 7th grade was rough for her, and I think it's just 7th grade in general. But
it is. It's the age.
Oh,
it's
terrible.
7th grade girls are mean. There's no other way to put it.
Vicious.
They're mean.
Vicious. And so she got the award. They call them Bark Awards because they're bulldogs. So the Bark Awards for behavior, attitude, respect, and kindness. So she got one from her math teacher who said she's always funny and kind and ready and outgoing and uses her manners and says, ma'am. I'm like, okay.
I know, and you know what? My teacher, the kids' teachers always said, you'd rather have them like that at school. Because I'd go, no, I'm sorry, I'm here for Mike Kirby. Mike Kirby, because he doesn't do that at home.
Right.
And she goes, no, they won't. But you'd rather, it's true.
That's true. I'd rather send them out into the world and know that they've listened.
And let them be feral at home.
Yep.
It's a lot easier.
My when I used to have a blog a million years ago now was kind of was a humor blog, but it was that I was trying to not raise a flock of assholes, and I'm doing that. So no assholes in this house. I mean, we want to be, So anyway, so that was a great week. There's our last day of school. Now I'm about to referee. We also had a terrific week. All of our new friends joined us, and I got a pile on my table. So we are now working with Manos del Uruguay, and when they send them, they don't wrap them into hanks. They're just these long, open skeins, and
kind of like the way mine are when I dye them.
Yes.
They just don't re-roll them after dyeing.
Right, so they just dye them and kind of bundle them and send them off. So I had these all come in, and I'm going to show you all the delicious flavors.
Oh, they're so great.
They're so beautiful. So we have these to look at today. We have a couple of projects patterns that we've been working on, a few things that we have learned in all of our chaos, because that's pretty much how we roll, and we're irreverent and we knit. So So anyway, well, let's start with yours. So we've been working, Judi is our master of color work, and it's always so exciting because she gets everybody involved and enthused about color work, because color work can be daunting. Yeah, well, you're like, I can teach you that. It's easy. So so she's been working on.
So this is actually that's all the further I have to steek, and now I'm split already.
So here she is working on, this is the bottom up of a cardigan from All Hail Kate Davies.
Yay, I don't have the book with me.
So that's okay. So here's the bottom. We call this one Stern Knockers, but it's like, I call them Angry Boobs.
Stern
Something that's...
sorry, Kate.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, we slaughtered your name. Sorry, we're bad like that.
That's just the name of the pattern.
It's the name of the pattern. So anyway, so you can see here.
Right, yeah.
So here is where she's going to steek it, and it actually takes a few seconds to figure it out.
And you can tell because you like checkerboard it.
Yep. And so what she's going to do is we're going to steek it, and we'll walk you through that whole process. I know we've done it before, but it's a little bit daunting for people. Not for her now, but...
But if you remember, if you saw the picture, and I'm sorry I don't have it.
Let me see if I have one over there.
Is the book over there?
Yeah.
I think so. The pockets are a little weird.
So here is, it's the cover of Kate Davies, 10 Years in the Making. It is an absolutely gorgeous pattern.
And I couldn't figure out, I'm loving the indigo, loving it.
Yeah, it makes everything so
And it's,
pop.
I thought, I wonder if this is going to rub off on my fingers as I knit. It does not.
Oh, good.
It does not.
You never know with something that's that bold.
Because they do more commercial dyes, and so they
Sure.
regulate it just right.
Here is the picture. Now you can see kind of by her elbow, there are pockets. And actually, correct me if I'm wrong, you started with the pocket.
I did. I had to make the pocket flap, and it's here. I've got it pinned down because it was bothering me. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't need to know that now.
Quack, quack.
So you started with making these pockets. Let me get it off because I pinned it down because it was getting in my way. You know how that is.
I do. Also today, Dunkin' Donuts, free donut day.
Yay.
So head over there if you want a little sweet treat.
So here's the flap. And I couldn't figure out, how do you do this? How do you do this? And it's really one of those that once you do, you had to wait till you got to that point.
Right.
And do it. So what you do is you put like 21 stitches on a holder, and then you take it's been on a holder, your pocket, and slide it on in its place, and you knit across. And you do that on both sides. So now I've got it like this.
Right.
So once it's done, the pocket is literally the last thing I do. I steek it. I put the ribbon down on it, and I just ordered some gorgeous ribbon yesterday.
Yay.
And then you pick this up and do like an I-cord.
Okay.
And it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But if you try to read ahead, I couldn't picture it. It's one of those I had to literally do it. So it's all set, and I'm going. I've got the front divided. I'm now doing the increases because the arms are kind of like, what do they call
Bat
those?
wings?
Yeah, the bat wing arms. And it's just going good.
Yeah, no, it looks absolutely beautiful. So sometimes, yeah, you just need to kind of wrap your brain around what the heck the pattern is even asking, and then you go, oh, and this epiphany happens, and it all comes together.
Sometimes I just literally have to sit down. That's why I waited. I didn't do this till what, Tuesday or Wednesday?
Yeah.
Because I needed time alone.
To
I have a lot of that now. And
she and her broken foot, her giant boot the size of Egypt.
I have so much sympathy for Frankenstein now because he had like 2 of them.
Yeah, that's true.
He did.
Clomp, clomp.
So I sat down and I just literally did it, and it was like, oh, well, geez, you big sissy, why did that take you so long to do? And then my sleeve, I'm on my second sleeve. The first one's done of Dagna.
That one just seems to be flying by now.
Yeah, and once I get that second sleeve done, I'm going to put it all on, and then I start the color work.
So once you put it on, and then at the very end, if you decide these aren't long enough, that's when you'll add to it?
because it's a long sleeve pattern.
She put
And I want it to be
3/4.
3/4.
Yeah.
And it doesn't go all the way up to the shoulder. It only goes to about here, and you start the color work.
Gotcha.
And it goes around, kind of like the Islington
Okay.
sweater.
Yep.
But, with my arms...
She has no shoulders.
And so I kind of guessed, and Kathy and I worked on it one day, and we measured, and we figured I'm going to do like 11.
Okay.
And I thought, well, what if that's not long enough? So I put it on waste yarn. I've got this at about 11 now. I think it's about here. If the color work comes up higher or I don't like it, I can either narrow it or add more and then put the cuff on.
Right.
So I'm kind of proud of myself.
You go, girl.
And then I had to figure out how to reverse it.
Because it's Judi, and she never does the pattern the way that they tell her to.
Yeah, I had to figure out increases. And I can't do it because I've got that on. But the increases are nice.
Yeah.
I think the increases are perfect. It doesn't hang way down. And that's one thing they said with the Dagna pattern, if you read the comments on Ravelry, that a lot of them found it tight.
Okay.
And they had to move up or they had to move down. So I'm going to put this on. I may have more stitches than I need for the color work, and I'll adjust it as I go, you know, fit it in or whatever. I'll do one round all the way around of plain color and get the counts right.
Yep.
And then...
Well, you know, I've made the mistake of starting a pattern before I do a round, and even if the book doesn't, or the pattern doesn't tell you to, and all of a sudden it's going to kind of screw up. So they don't tell you to on this one. This was the pattern that I was telling you about that I was doing through Lang Yarns. So I went, here's the book, and they've got some of the cutest patterns here. It's a great magazine. This is the Fatto a Mano, so made by hand, okay? Collection 276, and they really have some absolutely gorgeous patterns in here. And I have it on my site, or you can go to lang.com or langyarns.com and look through all the patterns and all the pictures, and they're beautiful. And so then I was like, all right, this is the one I was telling you that we kept trying to figure out the counts were wrong. So, but they don't have you start, and I should have here in hindsight, do a couple rows just to kind of get you started. So what it did was when I started my cables, it crossed the ribbing on the bottom. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but then I had to do it on the front side as well, so it's uniform. But in hindsight, that would be something that I would have adjusted instead of having these. I would have kept it. It goes right into the ribbing, and because you start right out of the gates.
Was it difficult?
No, it wasn't difficult.
You just had to really pay attention on your ribbing.
It was just, because, it pulled it. It pulled it as it was straight, and then it pulled it as I connected my cables. So the ribbing was normal. It was when I put the design in that, but I have to say, so I've been working with this yarn. It's also by Lang. It's their Aura, and it's soft. It's it's a good yarn.
I love it.
It's a good yarn because I frogged, and I kid you not, how many times did I say, starting over, doing the ribbing over again? Maybe 10 times trying to figure out the whole pattern because it was written wrong. So, and I was like, damn it, I'm not going to be beaten by a pattern. I'm going to do it. So, so it's forgiving. And so I frogged it, and not once did it get caught. Did it make a knot in the yarn? So, I mean, I'm really...
Which is easy to do when it's mohair.
Because it's got mohair in it. So I'm really impressed with this yarn. I'm happy with, and it just feels lovely, and it's cotton and polyamide, so it's a nylon.
So you'll be carrying more of it. More colors.
I've got several colors, and it's fun.
I think I've got the pattern I want for the blue.
Yeah, it's so pretty. Well, I had actually extra this because I loved it, and I thought this is going to be perfect for my daughter. So someplace. So here.
Good on her.
So yeah, it's great coloring for her, and she can actually think she can get away with it for school because we have uniform colors. So here I am. I'm about to split for the V-neck because it is a V-neck top. So that's kind of how we are, and I hate the ring light gives you that big circle. Here it is. It's showing you circling right there.
So have you done V-necks before?
Nope. This will be my first time.
I haven't either. I've always been intimidated. I think I want to do one.
This is So I'm gonna wing my way through it. But yeah, so that's kind of where we are. I'm hoping to finish it up this weekend as I'm playing with that. Occasionally you just need to put stuff in timeout. So here's what I was playing with this. Each month I try to do one of Nora's vintage Afghan, one square. So eventually I'll have the whole thing done. I love me some cables. And somehow down in this area, the yarn got kind of weird. So now I have to frog the whole thing, except frogging cables.
You have to do it very carefully.
I got to figure it out, and I'm going to have to put a lifeline in, except now I have to figure out where the lifeline needs to go so that when I pull down to it, it's not, all jaggedy and raggedy, as my daughter says, jaggedy and raggedy.
I would go through like right here in between.
I'm thinking this is the top row stitch because it kind of...
Yep. I would do it, put it in where you think it is, and when you get close, go very slow because you'll see it.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times when I put them in, after the fact.
So it's not the frogging, it's picking the stitches back up that robs me of my will to live.
Yeah, but you don't have a lot. I've had to do it all the way around.
Oh, God, no. Thankfully, this is only like 99. I think it's 99 stitches, so it's not terrible. But
if you're close, That's how I teach it. Just go slow once you start getting there, because you'll see it as you get closer. Oh, there's the stitch I need, and you just thank God for those little safety pins. Whoever invented those,
thank you for this. Yeah, so we use them for stitch markers. We use them for picking up, or if something gets dropped, and they are very reasonably priced. You can get them on Amazon, or your local yarn store may have them. They're in all different colors, so they look like light bulbs. So this is what they look like, and they're great just to throw them in your rows. So here's where I have it, where everywhere I have to change your pattern, I've got a marker in here just to remember, oh yeah, here's what I've got to do.
And if you've dropped the stitch, you can grab it and hold on to it.
Throw it in there until you're ready to pick it up. And in fact, I'm teaching a class next Friday. It's called Targeted Techniques, where I'm going to teach people how to fix their mistakes. So
I segued right into that for you.
I thank you so much. You're so good. That's why I keep you around, even though you don't wear shoes. Well, so you're kind of a heathen.
That's the Midwest farm girl.
So anyway, that's coming up next Friday. If you want to learn how to pick up drop stitches, if you have a yarn over you want to fix, if you've added too many stitches with the yarn over, if you need to decrease or increase the number of stitches you have on there, it's a 1-hour class. Bring a project you're working on, bring your own yarn and needles. There's no giant commitment. And that's going to be...
Bring a challenge.
Bring a challenge.
Fix this.
Yeah, right. Ooh, here we go.
Fix this, lady.
I get that a lot, where they just go, I don't know what I did. And then I got to find it. So.
Yeah, and you're good at that. And I'd rather walk them through it and help them so that they don't have to come in and do that again to me.
Yeah, well, I do that eventually, but in the beginning, I like to say, all right, it's my challenge. I like to figure out how to fix it.
You're really good at fixing mistakes.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So anyways, this is in timeout until I can wrap my brain around the fact that I have to do that. I just don't feel like it. So we were busy, although Judi, you said this, you would never do this in your whole life with what I was working on. So
no, you know how far I would get?
It's like coloring.
I would get to I'd start here and get to there and go, this is really boring. And it would be like one leg.
Here you go. Here's your leg. So we've got a bunch of kids camps. Now today is the last day of school, so I've got kids camps to keep your babies busy. And this is something that you can even do if you don't live here and you've got littles or grand littles that are coming to spend some time with you. It's a great way to use up some extra yarn that you have, some of your leftover stash. And so all I did was draw an octopus. This is a logo of our thing, and then I just glued all different yarn throughout the pattern just to kind of fill up the space. So we do have this. This was, I am a Spanish professor and I love history. So this was the huichol, was their one of their styles of art. So that this is how they kind of went through and told their stories of their history and myths and things like that. So we have one class. These are for littles. They don't need to know how to use anything more than glue. So we've got that coming up. And then my older daughter is going to start in a couple of weeks. This is her first project, is a bumblebee. So we're going to have that camp.
He's so cute.
He is awful cute. She's got a snake and a chicken that she's still trying to make the demos for. And then I've got this one, which is the bunny. I teach you how to knit and purl. And at the end of the knit and purl class for the camp, we make it into this little cute bunny. They don't usually look as put together as this one, but
it's a bunny.
It's learning. You're learning. So we've got these going on. Judi was busy making this. Do you want to put it on Phil's head? So this was an absolutely beautiful, another Kate Davies book. This one's called Color Moves, and it is by Claudia.
It's a great book if you love
Fiochetti. So Claudia Fiochetti. So she made that, and this is also through Kate Davies' site.
We have the kit.
KDD. We have a kit. So Judi made a kit with all the colors. And you can pick out your main color. We've got the contrast colors in a kit. And the pattern, Judi said, is very simple to follow and easy.
Yeah, I have all these colors except the gray, because some people don't want to use gray. They might want to use white. If you want to do gray and Tracy's out, I can dye it for you.
So there's that.
And there's enough in the kit that you can do the pom-pom at the end. Twice. You can do the pom-pom twice, because I've got to do it again.
Twice. So I hear Judy's like, well, I'm done with it, but the pom-pom, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. I'm like, oh, God.
Oh, I made a beautiful pom-pom, and I cut the wrong piece. And I had beautiful pom-pom pieces.
Fluff everywhere.
I was like, everywhere. Oh. So I've got to make the other pom-pom.
So anyway, here's my daughter. This is her head that she's used to keep wigs on. She's named him Phil. She's Phil, the wig.
Phil, the tattooed mannequin.
This is Patrick Starr wearing knee-high boots and This is a funny camel that she likes to draw because it makes me laugh. So anyway, Phil is donning this beautiful hat.
The hat's fun. It doesn't take long to do. It really doesn't.
Well, and I like how it all comes together at the top. Now, this is always where I struggle, is the decreases in a hat, and with the little needles, and trying to get it to all make the kind of star pattern.
Well,
at
the
top.
chart was very good. It told you exactly what when to do it. And yeah, because you had to decrease in the pattern. You just had to look to see, am I decreasing holding two yellows or what? And it came out.
Right. Well, it came out beautifully.
Well, I figured if it was messed up, a pom-pom would cover
right. It would be so great if the pom-pom would cover it. But,
yes, the pom-pom will be done.
Yeah, so we've got that.
And we're going to do the mitts eventually.
Yeah.
The mitts that match.
The fingerless mitts. So we probably will offer this as a class maybe in the fall. So it's a really great kit. We do have it available here at the shop. I can also ship it to you if it's something that you're interested in.
Got all the colors. They're done.
Judy's she's been dying up a storm because we frost. And I told her a while ago, I'm like, put a little stellina in there, give it a little sparkle. She sold 2 last week and 2 yesterday. So, I mean, they're just...
I got to go make more.
They're going as soon as they're coming in.
I just ordered more of Stella.
Yes. Love it. Love it. So we also have this just came in, Sunset on the May River. This is Judi.
Kind of fun. Just something I wanted to play with, some colors.
From Judi Loves Yarn. So, Maggie loves yarn. Judi also loves yarn, but Maggie loves to eat it. Just kidding. She plays with it. But anyway, so here is absolutely beautiful. It's called Sunset Over the May River, or on Sunset on May River. Excuse me, wrong preposition. So here we go. And this one, again, keeps selling out. Turned out it was a mistake, wasn't it, when you first made it?
Yeah, the first time I made it, it was like, I don't know. What do you think? And I brought it in, and I said, that'll never sell. That's the 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, this one keeps going. This one is called Raspberry Lemonade. It's really pretty, nice and bright and fun.
It's
summer
pretty.
colors. So yes, very pretty. Okay, so now it's show and tell time. So excited.
If you call and I answer, I will not pronounce. How do you pronounce it?
Manos del Uruguay.
I was like, yeah, Manos of Uruguay. We got it.
So
Uruguay. You see, I don't know. He said Uruguay. I think Uruguay.
Uruguay. So Manos del Uruguay.
I don't speak Spanish.
So the first thing that we put together, and I'm gonna tell the story of this. So when our wonderful Manos rep came, Vicky, Judi had been not even 24 hours with her broken foot, and I was like, okay, well, I'll just swing by, drop off. I had a scooter from my husband when he broke his ankle. Bring the scooter. You need this. This will make your life easier. And she's like, okay. And I said, she goes, well, I can come with you to meet with the Manos rep. And I'm like, no, just stay home and relax. Just get your foot better. Okay, all right. So I pull in to drop off the thing, and she's standing there with the remote control and
the garage door opener.
Or garage door, yeah, for the remote control for her garage.
And my coffee.
And her coffee. She's like, all right, let's go. I'm like, okay.
I had a shoe on.
She had a shoe on for once, not like today when she showed up barefoot. So she hops in my car. Now, in the middle of this, she's trying to battle with orthopedists and blah, 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 blah. So I've got this wonderful rep, and she's giving us little samples. So each thing comes with this little bit of not as much as this. It's just little samples of the different colors.
Oh, really tiny.
Really tiny, like just a couple of strands of the different colors. And so you get them on this ring, and like, pick it out. And it's very overwhelming, and I'm super ADHD, so too much at me at the same time makes it overwhelming.
So what she was picking out her own shop colorway. This is for the shop.
So
you won't find it anywhere
This
else.
is unique to Low Country Shrimp and Knits. In fact, that's the colorway here. It's going to be backwards, but it's called Low Country Shrimp and Knits. So I'm getting all these colors, and I'm like, okay. And so I'm writing things down, and I'm talking to Vicky, and and our friend Arlene is here helping us, because I always kind of lean towards one colorway, and I want some other opinions of stuff we should add.
And the doctor's office finally calls me back. So, right in the middle of it.
Right in the middle. It's chaos. It's piles of yarn samples everywhere. So I'm like, Judy's like, I'll be right back. I'm like, okay. So she's walking back and forth, not using her crutches, first of all. She's making me a nervous wreck, okay, because I'm a rule follower, and she's not. And she's like, comes in, she's like, oh my God, grabs her wallet, walks out again. I'm like, okay. So anyway, we got all this going on. We're choosing colors. She's fighting, choosing colors. She's fighting. Well, she comes back in, and I'm like, all right, well, we need to choose colors that are specific just to Low Country Shrimp and Knits. And I said, why don't you and Arlene choose the colors? And they're like, okay. So they've got this big old ring, and it's got, hundreds of different things.
And
this is the pheno.
Nice. I was letting Arlene, because this is the first time Arlene's really done it.
Yeah, so this is the pheno, and normally they come in skeins that are full skeins, okay? But for this opportunity, and it's a limited type thing. I'm hoping they extend it past the end of the year, but we'll see. They give mini skeins, and you can choose 5 mini skeins that are specific to your shop. So she and Arlene pick out these colors. And aren't they just so beautiful?
Gorgeous.
They were like, oh my gosh, look at these colors.
Me of something.
And I was like, I love these. I was like, well, the purple, because we've got the octopus as the logo, and I'm like, they're really fun, and they're jewel toned, and you know, I tend to lean a lot towards greens and blues and like more like coastal colors. So I was like, this is good because we don't carry this a lot. So I was like, all right. So on.
Yeah, last night when I came
in. Was it Thursday? It was Wednesday when they came in. So Wednesday they came in, and I was like, oh my goodness. So I send all these pictures of like these piles of stuff like this. And I said, Judi, and she came in last night, I go, look, isn't this so beautiful? This is what you and Arlene picked out. She goes, that reminds me of something. And I'm like, okay. She goes, well, pull out the minis I made for Maggie Goes to Mardi Gras. So here are the ones she made. And here are the ones they chose. I'm like, oh. No wonder you liked them.
So this will be a unique set. It'll be a collector's item. Because I won't be making this again, obviously.
I was dying. I'm like, well, no wonder you liked them. Then she blamed Arlene. She goes, well, Arlene picked them all out.
Let's blame Arlene. She's not here to defend herself. She's moving.
So yeah. So this is, we got these and this one.
Isn't that hysterical?
We were dying. I'm like, oh my gosh. They're almost exactly.
I can pull this.
Almost exactly. No, it's fine. It's even funnier now. So we got these. Anyway, so we got those to play with. We got a couple of those in-house. We got, so let's start from the lighter. So this lightweight called Cabrito, okay? So here it is. So
you just have to come in and see
it's lace weight. Yeah, they really don't even do any justice. So these are lace weight. Cabra is a goat, and ito, when you add ito onto this, it makes it diminutive. So it's like little.
This one last night was so fun to play with because depending what you paired it with, it changed tone.
So I have a pattern. We'll talk about that in just a minute.
Because she kept wanting to put it with gray, didn't she?
Blue.
Blue.
I wanted to put it with blue. I put it with
Robin
this one.
kept putting it with gray.
Right.
See how it changes there?
So that's the one colorway when you put it together.
And she kept putting it with gray, and I just thought it kept dulling it. Yeah, Robin kept saying gray, and I went, yeah, gray's pretty, but it makes it more gray, and I don't see it as being gray.
No, it's...
So look what happens when you put it with this.
It just brings out that purple.
Whole different color.
Yeah, it just really makes...
I like it with the gray. Don't get me wrong, Robin. I love it with the gray, but for some reason, that pulls it out.
So this pattern that I'm looking at is it's interesting. We'll get into it in just a minute. So anyway, we've got these 3 colors, and there are more colorways. I'm just trying to start little, because when you put in a first commitment, you don't realize when you're like, I'll take 3 of these and 3 of these and 3 of these, and all of a sudden you're like, and $3,000 later. That's so cute.
But mohair can be kind of like that, especially mohair lace.
Right now I've got it under my contact.
Sorry. You don't think, you try to match it exactly, and it's like, no, that doesn't work. What happens with mohair is it kind of brings out the colors that make up that main color.
Yeah.
So you really have to play with it. And play with it. Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, these two are fun together. These two
See,
are
and really just kind of stand across. And sometimes, this is true, and it really is true with fabric, especially with fabric, because fabric that has little tiny prints at a distance will read as a solid.
Oh yeah.
So if you're sewing something and you want it to be a big bold statement, a little tiny print in a fabric isn't going to work. So a trick in a yarn shop, well, in a fabric store, and I was kind of doing it last night because what I could see from across the room
was different
was
than
not
up close.
what you guys were seeing. And you do, sometimes you just literally have to walk away and see what it looks like. And I used to drive Gordon nuts when I quilted, because I go, hold on, ma'am, and he'd go, okay, I'll hold your fabric, and I'd pile him up, and then I'd walk away from him.
Right.
And he'd be in the middle of the store like, what are you doing? I said, I'll be right back.
Hold this, I'll be right back.
So yeah, because this was so pretty together, but it wasn't, it's like,
it just didn't have,
make it.
Yeah.
And then when you put it with that, it was like, there it is.
Yep.
But I could see it across the room.
Yeah.
And if I put it with this and I'm sitting here with it, it's like, yeah, that's pretty. But from across the room, I could tell it wasn't working.
Right. So step away. Step away from
Walk
it.
away. Walk away.
So we have a couple of projects coming up that we're going to play with, and I'm very excited about this one. So this one I really love. It's called Milo. Okay. So this one has linen in it. So it is a linen merino blend, and it is absolutely fabulous to play with. Okay. So I got these 3 colors. Again, I tried to find variegated and distinct from what I already carry in the shop. So these 3 colors are very unique to, you know, everything we're carrying. And there are more, and I can always order it if this is something that you are looking for. So let me know. But so when I did a sample of it, so here's one of the other colorways that I really love. This one's called, I think, Wildflowers, or Meadow. That one's Meadow. So this one is how it comes together, and it has, nope, lies. That's not the one. This is it. This one, it comes together, and it's just got a little, and you can't really see it.
It looks like a field of flowers. It really does.
It's just beautiful, but it's got this little bit of halo to it that makes it soft, because sometimes linen, when you're working with it, can feel a little rough. It's not going to give you that. When you touch the yarn, you're not going to go, oh my God, I feel this.
It's the more you work with it.
It gets softer. It gets softer. Linen does stretch, so having a little bit of the merino in there is a good thing. But also, as we tell people here, if you're going to work with something that you know stretches, cotton, linen, bamboo, throw ribbing on it. Throw a ribbing on the bottom, because that will kind of hold the pieces together to stretch less.
Well, just about any yarn will stretch.
Yes.
If you don't anchor it.
So, and that's a good anchor, is ribbing. And I'm a 2x2 ribber.
Well, me too.
Yeah.
Even socks. I hate 1x1.
1x1 is, and then I can't remember if I did it, and then I gotta go back and count. And anyway, so.
Well, this was 2x2. Hold
Yeah,
that up again.
that's 2x2.
That was interesting, though, because you got to switch colors, too, while you're doing
Oh,
2x2.
yeah.
Which wasn't too bad, because if you notice, the ribbing, the purling part was the gray.
Yeah.
So the different colors, but it was, literally did 2 rows, and then you switched colors, 2 rows, and switch a color.
Yeah.
'Cause there's 8 colors in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was kind of like, oh, but once you got the hang of it, it was kind of rhythmic, and it wasn't too bad.
Get into the cadence of the pattern. So anyway, so this one is I'm excited about this. So we've got a pattern that we're going to do, and this one is what it looks like. It is from Root magazine. Taproot, sorry, not just Root. Taproot magazine. It's called the Comfy Cowl. Okay, so this is the pattern, and we're going to use a couple of different ones. And so Judi,
I think I was all for this one when you were knitting it up.
Yeah.
And this came in, and you look at it with me, it just sings to me.
oh yeah, no, and it looks great with your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use this color.
And I think I'm just going to play with this color that I already have going. So I like these. They're a lot of fun. And so just come touch them, because linen. No, it's real. And it's great down here because it's lighter. So we want stuff that isn't going to like in this humidity.
Yep. And you may have to buy the magazine for the pattern. But
yes.
You know what?
It's a great magazine.
The magazine is wonderful.
It's a great magazine.
It is. It's got patterns in it. It's got the stories. I love the stories. And it's got recipes and everything else. And just buy the issue.
Judy's like this close to becoming a homesteader now.
Oh, no. No.
She's going to have chickens on her porch like her friend in Myrtle Beach.
No, she can't have chickens. I feel like I'm there now that I'm sorry, but I really feel like I'm almost there now with all these deodorants that are coming out with no aluminum.
I know.
It's not going to be pretty down here this summer.
It's definitely going to be.
If that's all we can get, it's not going to be pretty down here this summer.
You're going to all be hiding here at Low Country Shrimp and Knits, where we have the air on so low and an dehumidifier.
Arlene is doing the same thing. I hate this.
Oh, I'm
using it too. It's not good.
All right, so that was the next level. Then the next one after that, I got, nope, not Alegría Grande, es con feliz, which means happy. And these are so great. So and I love this one. This one is called Wildflowers. All right. And so this one is also a DK weight. This one is called Meadow.
That's the Meadow.
Which is the one I love.
We have a theme going.
I clearly have ordered it several times.
Yes, but that's okay. But people sometimes I really like that, but do you have it in a DK?
Right. Yes, I do. So, and then this one just seems fun.
I love that one.
This one just seems fun.
This
one's called Hirachi. So
now, is that worsted?
This is DK.
DK,
I believe.
Ooh.
So
that might be pretty.
Yeah, because these are 4s. They tell you size 4 needles. So this is DK. It's sport, that kind of thing. So we've got these three colors. And again, lots of colorways out there. If there's something you're interested in, let me know. The next one on that, this is how it knits up. So this was the first one that I held up accidentally. And it just is so pretty. And it just kind of comes together. It's nice and calming. So I wouldn't recommend doing anything with too much pattern because you will get it lost.
Yeah, you won't. You won't
see it.
You won't see a cable.
Not as well. I mean, you can still see it, but it's definitely not as...
If you're doing something lacy that's got a lot of yarn overs, that would open it up. That'd be pretty too. A t-shirt. I think a summer tee out of that would be so much fun.
This would be beautiful. So this one also is merino superwash and modal. So you know those tiny little modals that run around in the desert, and then they make yarn out of it.
Have you ever gone to a modal shearing?
I'm saving up to go to a modal shearing because there's, it's a whole trip, but when you get those tiny little modals, I love them. They're so cute. Okay, so that's that. The next size up, we went with
modal races.
Only at the state fair. You can bet on them, modal racing. So, Alegria Grande. So this is Alegria's happiness, and grande means big. So it's big old happiness. So this one is our worsted weight. So again, we try to choose different weights and different colorways. So I know we have a third one somewhere in here.
That one is just...
This one just
got a little boy or a little girl.
Look at how cute this one is.
Make them a hat and mittens out of it.
It's so bright and colorful.
You know what? They won't lose it in the snow.
This is called locura, which means craziness. So locura fluo, not flujo, sorry.
I know where the other one is.
So that's, and then I got this one, which the one is called orquídea, so orchid. And then I do have one more somewhere. It's not this. Oh, well, she'll show up. She'll show up at some point in this pile. I don't know. Anyway, so that's Feliz. Then we got our last, the Grande, Alegria Grande. So our last bit of fun. Here is the last one. Oh, isn't it so pretty?
I like that one.
This one I love too. That's why I'm hiding it from.
Me of art wall.
Well, so here's what happens when you buy all these yarns. Then I don't know what is wrong with me because I want to sell them, and that's the point of having them. But I also want to hoard them and not give them to anybody. So I got issues. I need to get maybe some therapy over that one. This one is called I can't read, of course. Pindo is Pindo is this colorway.
And if you ask me, it's Pinda.
So the last one here is called Franca, okay? And this one is a big, chunky weight boy, Franca. So this one, colorway here.
I love that pink.
This one, Aurora. That's this one.
I really like that. And I'm not a pink and dark person, and I love that.
This one is so pretty. And this is great for like a hat, a cowl, gloves, something that needs to be thick and bulky. If you're making a sweater that you're sending up north, this one I just love. This one is the blue colorway that I love for down here, okay? And this one is called Algae. So there you go. And here's the last one here with Franca that I got. This is called Camelot. This one is really pretty to me,
We've had a discussion of the name of it.
Yeah.
I don't see that as Camelot.
Yeah, this just... I don't know. I'm not feeling...
Camelot reminds me of the month of May and,
Yeah, some flower, more like wildflowery.
I love the musical Camelot. And that just doesn't
do it justice. Yeah, it's... So anyway... These we've got here, and they're new, and they're...
Well, clearly they didn't ask us.
Well, and that is rude. Really? I mean, I'm right here, okay? I'm just an email away, or text message.
That's what I want to do in my next life.
Name stuff?
Yeah, name paint chips.
You'd be good at it. Or nail polish?
Or nail polish.
OPI has the best names.
I know they do.
OPI has the best names. Like, my favorite color is actually called I'm Not Really a Waitress. So that was part of their Broadway series.
Well, I use it in Maggie's color. Where did Maggie's Mango?
Oh, yeah? So anyway, so now we're just trying to figure out new fun projects because we don't have enough going. We only have like, 3 projects in WIP right now.
I know, but I'm going to get work done this weekend because it's college baseball playoff time.
I know. Well, you're done with your
3 games today.
Well, you're done with your football blanket. We are going to have that
slip stitch
blanket that Judi created. So now we got to come up with a new fall. Football.
That's going to. I know. I don't have a football project.
Yeah, we got to find a nice. Things that she only works on during football season. So
something that has a good gauge because if you don't want to tighten up, it's like,
so these are great colorways, and I when I see something that works well together, I go, oh, I love that. But it takes me a while of playing to find what works together. Now, Judi has an artist's eye. My daughter also has this artist's eye, so I go to them a lot to say, I want to work with something this color. What works well with it. And that's how we come up with different types of colors to work together, because not everything works well. And sometimes, you know, if you're looking at a Stephen West project, which is beautiful and has some really funky designs in it, his colorways are a bit more garish than I like.
I think he closes his eyes
It's,
and just goes,
throws a dart.
This color and this color and this color. But he makes it work.
He does, and it's great. I'm too boring and plain, and I like subdued looks. So, but Judi has discovered an absolutely wonderful website.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
It's called Color Palette. icolorpalette.com. And so she was playing with this the other day
because I'm bored.
Because she's bored, and
it comes up here. Go ahead and show them, and then you can put in that. I'm in the flower colorway collection.
Oops. So here's Color Palette collection, and then I don't know. I'm just gonna push on something. Oh, that's the one you just had. Oh,
yeah,
goodness.
Let me pull
Hold on. We'll pull on one that I tried to do it backwards. I'm not good like that.
We're gonna go to 33 nature inspired
color schemes.
So it's going to be a lot of greens. No, I'm not.
There. You have to look at ads. It's fine. It's for 30 seconds. You just
there we go.
X out of it.
So that's the flower one.
So if you want something that incorporates reds, if you want to have something that's daffodils, if you want roses, if you want gardenia, if you want whatever it is, tulips.
But look at the color combinations. I mean, like if you're getting into color work, oh my word, I'd be in that in a heartbeat. Actually, I'm going to use it to do a lot of dyeing. I like the colors together.
So this is a really great way if, again, you're just trying to say, oh, well, you know, I want to do something with a bunch of different colors, or a quilt, or something that you're making a baby blanket where you've got all the different squares.
Again, because I'm home all day with a broken foot.
Yeah, she has no life, and she won't.
My
you
God,
know,
look at this one.
I've already got her doing 11-5 things. So
look at this one.
Oh, that one's so pretty. Oh my gosh,
I want to
look
do
at these.
in this
I mean,
color.
look at how pretty this is.
I will probably do a mini skein.
Look at that one. So that one is absolutely beautiful. Looks like cherry blossoms.
Yeah.
It looks like cherry blossoms.
I think
Absolutely,
that's what it is.
Absolutely beautiful. So we've got that going on now. Judi brought this to my attention recently, and so we're always looking. You know, I can't tell you enough about swatches. Okay, so I've got this project that I am starting because again, I wanted to do a little more lace work, and I wanted to work with some of my lace yarn that just came in from Lang, and it's got this absolutely beautiful blue color. So I've been trying to figure out. You know, and I've been Ravelrying, and then I've been going across to I love at night when I'm trying to fall asleep, just looking at Pinterest and coming up with ideas and saving, and then I cross-reference them because I can't just commit. I've got to really.
It scares Gordon to death when I go, "You guys got any ideas for supper?" I found this recipe on Pinterest, and he's like, "Oh dear God,
I've got to fluff it up like this with a fork." And oh my goodness.
I think there's some people coming in, so I'll tell them to wait.
So, okay, so we have this, I came up with this one that I love. It's called the Very Berry Cardigan, and you can find this, I found it first on Pinterest, and then I went and researched it on Ravelry. And so I bought the pattern, and I went back and forth, and I'm like, what do you think of this, Judi? And because I want to use this really beautiful yarn, it is lace.
Okay, we're doing a podcast. We open it new. You can wait like 15 minutes.
So anyway, we've got this lace weight yarn, and it is from Lang. It literally is just called lace from Lang. And so I've been trying to find something to use to make it. Now, lace weight, if you're a little scared of it, sometimes, you know, a lot of times you just add it to something else to give just a little bit of fluff, a little bit of halo to it, some ethereal qualities. And so we went around and we tried to find different yarns here in the shop that would work with it. And what she did for her pattern, she said she pulled 3 of these together. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to try the idea of me having 3 different skeins trying to pull together is just, it robs me of my will to live a little bit. So we found this one, which is Ba yarn. So this color and then this color.
And we had a discussion about that last night, even with colorway, because someone kept saying that doesn't match. It doesn't match. And I said, but with mohair, and especially with mohair lace, it doesn't always match. But it will pull, the fluffiness will blend it, kind of like a really subtle marl. And when you put that together, look, it matches.
So when it's by itself, but when you put them right together.
And that's what I literally had to do. I had to pull a little bit of the skein, each skein out, and twirl it. And you guys went, oh yeah, it does.
But so again, I have to say I was not a big fan of swatching because like I just want to start. I don't want to have to count and blah. And I didn't even really know how to do it because I hadn't done it. So Judy's like, you gotta swatch. Was that too small? Because you gotta swatch. Did you swatch? I'm like, swatch. So she was right. She was right. But so anyway, the pattern. So here we go. Now, first of all, I went and I bought the pattern because I'm like, okay, this is going to be great. And the pattern. Let me see if I've got a picture of it because, of course, now it's just a tiny little piece in the front. It's an absolutely adorable.
If you can find it in the book.
Adorable pattern. And so I'm like, okay. So I go to print it up and I purchase it, and it's reasonable. I think it was like $7.50 maybe on Ravelry.
It's a good price.
It's a great price, but it is. I kid you not, 36 pages long. I'm like, what did I?
Was growing.
I know my printer. I used one whole cartridge just for this, pretty much. But I mean, it's all individually. It goes step by step because apparently this is a tutorial, and so I'm just gonna try. I'm just like, please read before you get into the pattern. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read it, and 37 seconds after I look at the words, they're gonna go. Bloop. I'm not gonna remember anything that they told me what to do. So I'm like, okay. So I went in and we then said, well, we're going to use these two. And so we're looking for DK weight. So this is DK weight. And adding just that tiny bit of lace to it is not going to change the weight to make it worsted or anything. So, and we did the sample to do it. So she said 7s. So I'm like, okay. So this first one is 7s, and it's really just very tight. It's very tight. I don't think it's in there. I think I got to go online. All right. So it's very tight. So I went up to 9s because I was like, well, I want it to be a little loopier, and it didn't make gauge. All right. So this is my dividing line between the two. So I could see, all right, well, here's 7s, here's 9s. 9s didn't get gauge. It was close. So I'm supposed to get 17 stitches for gauge, okay? And it didn't actually tell you how many rows. So this is just literally trying to get gauge for your number of stitches, okay? So I was like, okay, well, it's close. It was, I think, 20, and I needed to get 17. So I'm like, yeah, let's go up one more size. So I went up to 10s, and I got gauge. So this is...
And that's just, you want that kind of fluff. And we talked about that, because it's like, you don't want it so loose, because it's got cables in it, doesn't
right.
it?
It's got cables, and it's got... if you'll check it out on Ravelry, it's just so pretty, and I'm like, okay, this is fun.
You think with 36 pages, she could have printed out one more.
You think the first one would be, actually what it looks like, but so I did, but I just love it. So this is one thing I'm going to be casting on now. I wanted to get this done because I've been going back and forth with projects, and so Judi does all the color work, and I'm always trying to make samples for the shop. So a lot of times, let's see, there's one picture where
it sold you?
Yeah, I don't. Is it this one? This is kind of, and that's not a great picture of it, but this is great radio here. Oh, so here, so it's just kind of got this real fun, open, light pattern that I was like, all right, well, this will be good. Here's the back. Just kind of.
It is. It's a very pretty pattern.
Light and fun, and also just demonstrates lace weight yarn because...
Is there cables or just lace?
It's both.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, it's both. So
yeah, you don't want that real dense.
No.
And it was just way too dense with this yarn and this.
So with size 7s. So we're going up to 10. So I'm going to start to cast on. I want to get this this vest done for my daughter this weekend.
Baseball.
So I don't have baseball, but Judy's covering the shop. Oh, are you going to be home in time for baseball since you're covering for me?
Oh God, yeah, no problem.
So bless her. Judy is helping me not have a nervous breakdown.
Consume me
like football.
Yeah.
Okay.
Baseball, I just kind of have it on, listen to it once in a while.
Well, supposedly soon we're supposed to become almost a big girl shop here and have internet. We're almost big girl. Well, not size-wise, but at least internet-wise. So anyway, I want to get that done. But I've got, in the summertime, I'm trying to...
And we're casting on tomorrow the C... Oh, so you want to talk about that. Do that first.
Yes. So anyway, this tool, okay. Well, do you remember what the name of this one is? I know it's obviously a gauge counter, but this has little tiny feet. little feet in the bottom of it.
It's done by Ackerman Works. So here it is, Ackerworks.
Ackerworks. So this is, I know we've talked about this before. I am going to try to figure out how to carry it here at the shop. So what is great about it is, and this one is not quite where I would normally do it, but you can put it down so you
to hold it.
The teeth hold it right where you need to count to get your stitches. And so here you can see in the middle, you can do the row right up the center, the number of rows, or the one across with all the stitch count to see if you get gauge. So this is very easy. The Thiago one that I have, and I've been loving it, but it doesn't hold it down, so you really have to kind of.
Yeah, I bought this on a whim because I was home with a broken foot and didn't have anything to do.
Right. So Amazon, is your friend. The Amazon guy's like, oh hey, you were back. So my hair looks awful.
And now I really like it. I reach for it first.
Yeah. Well, she's had me use it too. So this is the one that I usually use from Thiago. It's good because it does literally show you if you do the 4x4 inch, which is what you're supposed to do, but we don't because we're lazy and we cheat.
This is 4x4 too.
I know, but I don't use that much. We do 1 inch and then multiply. So this is why my daughter got the math award, is because of me.
But what did we learn with the C-Star?
We learned that with the C-Star, if you just do stockinette, because typically they just say do stockinette. Okay, don't do garter stitch, do stockinette because it's easy to count the stitches that you use. But Judi couldn't get gauge with C-Star, which is our knit along. We're starting on Saturday.
Using the yarn that says in the pattern. I could get it with the I got exactly what the label said.
Yep.
And I got, let me go to page 30.
So we ordered exactly the yarn that's in the magazine. This is Rowan's magazine. It's the summer edition. It is absolutely beautiful. And this is going to be our summer knit along. Tomorrow's kicking it off. Come in if you want to buy the yarn for it. Give you a discount.
Measurements and everything else. So what happened was, and I printed out the chart, but I'm not coloring it. I'm just going to say.
She's not coloring it. No, we've learned she hates to color.
That chart.
A little bit I do.
No. And I'm doing it in the round, so if you want to do it in the round. So I'm like, what is going on? And I'm like,
I can't get gauge. I'm like, what? I'm like, of course you should get gauge. You're you.
So I went back in to see the projects, people who had done it.
Yeah.
And they're like, I got gauge. I'm like,
how did you get gauge?
Yeah,
right.
And then I'm reading, do it in the pattern, over the pattern. And I'm like, huh. Okay, and I wasn't going to do it in the round, and it only took, so I did it in the pattern. I just made up a pattern. I just did, okay, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, and then back and forth, and that's why. Going back and forth just with 30 stitches on the purl side, color work, it's like I would not do a whole sweater in this. Seriously.
Plus also Judy's Judi, so she's going to do her own style of this.
I am definitely going to do it in the round and steek it.
Okay.
I don't have to worry about a lot of stuff with that. So I did it, I just made up a pattern. I wasn't going to follow the one in the chart.
Sure. It worked.
I got gauge.
So she got gauge. So tomorrow, if you want to kick it off with Judi, she'll be here starting 10 a.m. and she'll be casting on and starting to work on that. Also, if you're someone that still doesn't know quite how to make a sweater that fits, we got you. So we're going to use your pattern as a guide, but then
we're going to strip you down. No, we're not.
Right here on the table, we're going to have you, and then we're going to take pictures because, just kidding. But so that's what's going on for that. Also, we had an idea yesterday that I'm going to throw out to the world. So we have the Knitted Kalevala, which is a book that Lane sells, and in fact, Judy's made a couple of pieces out of it, and
I've got a third one ready.
Yep, it's a great book. It's Lane's. I've got a couple of copies, and I think I have one left. I had a bunch, but they sell because it's a really great book from Lane. And so the story. Could you tell how the book works? Because I don't really.
If you're a literary nerd type like me, you'd love it. Kalevala is a Norwegian epic poem, kind of like Beowulf. What we said, Dante's Inferno and all that. So it weaves the story, and it's, broken up into different sections like Beowulf is. And she tells the story, and then she has a knitted item to go with it. So if it talks about
Sea Monsters was the one you did, right?
Yeah, I ripped it out. I got to start it again. I have it.
Of course you
So, yeah, like the ducks or whatever, and then it's on there, and the reflection of the water, which is the one I did with Sari or whatever. And she explains the story. So if you really wanted to go back and read the story with it, I kind of read a little bit. She gives you the poem in its correct version, and then she explains it. which is good because I didn't understand any of it. It's kind of like when I taught Follow the House of Usher. If you've ever read that,
I read that. Yeah,
it is so difficult to understand.
Oh yeah.
So I had it on tape. We'd listen to a paragraph and I'd literally. Okay, what he said was
what's this? What he meant by that?
But it was so yeah, that's what Kalevala is.
So we suggested that perhaps we make
did.
our own, and we're going to make it with Dante's Inferno, and each circle of hell is going to be a really, really hard pattern, and I'm pretty sure Ranunculus for me is one of my circle of hells.
That would be a section of hell. I've got several in there too that would be...
section of hell. So if you have suggestions of things that should be in our 7 circles of hell patterns, reach out to me and let me know, because we'll at least have a podcast about different things. And I'm going to beat Ranunculus. I'm going to beat it. But you know what? I felt good because somebody who knits a lot, said she made Ranunculus, but it also, the first couple of times she made it, the neck was too small, which is what happened with me. So I'm not the only fool. I mean, I am a big giant fool, but what is that, loser?
No.
Oh,
Oh.
that was a big 0.
it was literally this big. Like, I don't think it would even go over Maggie's head.
No, and that's the whole thing. Is it was when I was making it, I was at home, and I'm like, what is going on with this thing? And I kept doing it, and I'm getting angrier, more and more angry as I'm pulling the thing apart. My husband, this is when he always likes to bust my chops and go, thought knitting was supposed to be relaxing. I'm like, it is relaxing. Don't it look relaxed?
It is. Bring me a glass of wine.
Oh my God. And so I'm calling her, and I'm like, she goes, well, just hold on to it. I'm like, I ain't pull balling on that. So I brought it in. I'm like, all right. So we tried to figure out, the cast on was different than what I love me some long tail cast on. That's my baby. And we figured out the cast on. Okay. And then I'm, all right, finally get it. She goes, hold on. She goes, does that fit? I'm like, it fits. That's fine. She goes, put it over your head. And I was like,
it was a yarmulke. That's how the further it went.
So she goes, just put it aside for now. And so
well, she goes, no, what she did was, it was one of the first few times we'd really been together. She goes, oh yeah. And she starts to knit. I went, stop knitting it. It's never going to fit. I don't know why you're continuing.
I was in denial, okay? I was in denial about it, but I'm going to beat Ranunculus at some point. And
literally.
Well, I was ready to burn it and dance in the flames of its hideousness, but...
yeah, I've had a few. But.
That's definitely one of the circles of my.
I know which one.
Of my hell.
That shawl that Liz and I did, she could figure it out and I couldn't. She goes, no way, you're having so much trouble with this.
So, and sometimes like things click right away for me, and sometimes I've really got to go, what is this pattern asking? And the hardest thing that I've found with certain patterns, and so it took me a while to wrap my brain around this Lang pattern, because it's set up in a way that the verbiage is very basic, and it's like, yeah, you'll figure it out. And even the I don't have it here, but even like when they show you the chart, you're like,
I know. And sometimes, yeah, you do. You have to think on it. People bring me stuff to do, like the turkey hunter.
Yeah,
I'm doing his seat for him that he likes to sit on.
She sews. She has a sewing business on the side.
I do. I recover chairs, and I make designer pillows, and I recover cushions. But sometimes I get the odd request. Can you do this? Probably. And I let it sit there, and all of a sudden, a few days later, I'm like, I know how that to go. I know how to make that.
Yeah.
Because I did chairs last summer for that lady on Ladies Island, and some cushions have ties. This was a weird one because the loop. Let me see how it was. You made the loop, and the ties were literally on the chair. So you had to make the loop to go through it. And it took me a while to figure it out, because I had to figure out which way to put it and how to make it work, because it didn't have zippers, and she wanted zippers.
Right.
I always put zippers in. They go, you don't have to put zippers in. I went, have you ever seen my hand sewing?
Right.
Yeah, they don't want zippers.
You want those.
You want zippers. So it, all of a sudden, so it sits there for a few days, and it's like, okay, I got it. And then it goes together. And same way sometimes with the knitting. I didn't work on this for a while.
Yeah.
Mean boobs, because I was trying to figure out why isn't that, how
popping.
do I do this?
It wasn't popping. Sorry, did I kick you? Oh,
no,
okay.
you didn't.
So, well, I'll try harder next time.
No, you'll know, because that boot's like a steel boot.
Trying to keep my friend safe here.
I told Gordon this morning. I know what Frankenstein felt like.
Yeah, well, that's clomping around.
Yeah,
clomping around. So, usually I figure something out. I for some reason it's just and usually my problem is this, is, you know, people's like, oh my God, you just love having a knitting store. You just sit around and knit all day. I'm like, I don't get a chance to knit.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause people
busy
come
because
in.
people come in, which is great. And I loved, and I'm a chatty person. When they come in, I want to know, where are they from? Do they live here? What are they working on? Do they knit or crochet?
I would meet the neatest people that way.
It's just terrific, and I just love it, and that's why you do this. But usually, so when I knit at night, I'm tired, and so sometimes my brain is like, dude, seriously, you've been going for like 12 hours straight. It's 2:00 in the morning. That's when I get this kind of like, oop, and I wake up out of my sleep and go, okay, now I've finally
know how to do it. Yeah.
Finally figured it out. So anyway, we have wasted yet another hour of your life.
No, we went over a lot of stuff.
So anyway, so again, if you are interested in any of these Manos, I can order them for you and I can ship them to you. They have a lot of great colors and they're so much fun to work with.
Yeah, and stop in tomorrow when I'm here, and I'm going to be here every Saturday during the summer, and we'll get you measured and get you started.
Yep, and then Arlene's going to take over in falls for Saturdays. So again, 6 days a week is just it's taking a toll on my
probably just do another
mental
day.
health.
I'll do another day during the week, so that'll give you a break. You
I
have 2
love
days
you.
off.
So we appreciate you, girl. So anyway, I hope you have a fabulous week. We will see you in 2 weeks because we're going every other
That's
week
right.
now.
I might be off the boot by then.
She's not going to be off the heroin, but she'll be off the boot.
Ankle boot by then.
So anyway, have a fabulous week and stay out of trouble or get good video. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.